Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to procrastinate even though you know it only delays your progress? Curiously, your brain is wired to avoid discomfort and seek quick rewards. No, it's not your fault, but the truth is that staying in this cycle only pushes you further from your goals. What nobody tells you is that, with the right training, it's possible to reprogram your mind to face challenges head-on, without the urge to flee. Instead of fighting against your brain, how about learning to make it work for you? Imagine being able to overcome procrastination, boost your productivity, and feel like you're back in control of your life. The answer lies in some simple yet powerful practices that few know how to apply correctly, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about here. The brain is like the machine behind every thought and action, an incredibly complex physical structure. On the other hand, the mind, this field of energy, is what truly guides our perception and decisions. Think of it as software that needs to be updated, adjusted, and, most importantly, mastered. Many times we face mental pressure, that feeling that things are spiraling out of control. This is exactly when we realize the importance of taking care of both the hardware and the software. Strengthening the brain through the right stimuli allows you to effectively control the mind. For example, engaging in activities that require focus, like learning to play an instrument, can reinforce this connection. But why does this matter so much? Because the brain and mind are in constant battle. The brain wants to conserve energy and avoid challenges, but the mind has the potential to go further. When you face an obstacle like procrastination, it's your mind that can direct the brain to act despite exhaustion. For this to happen, both need to work together, and that only happens when the brain is well trained. This is where the power of training comes in, a daily practice that strengthens your resilience and increases your ability to overcome bigger challenges. Training the brain is like exercising a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it becomes. Activities that demand mental or physical effort, like running uphill or sticking to a tedious task, are great examples of how we can work on our resilience. These small daily actions may seem simple, but constant repetition is what truly shapes our ability to handle mental pressure and increase productivity. If you've ever tried to learn something complex, like a new language, you know that progress comes with repetition, not sporadic effort. Moreover, it's important to increase the intensity of your training when things get tough. When life throws extra challenges, like tight deadlines or tasks that demand extreme focus, that's when we need to push forward instead of avoiding these situations. We should embrace them as opportunities for growth. Want an example? During that endless work project, try increasing your focus instead of succumbing to distractions. By doing this, you're training not just your brain but also your mind to handle increasingly challenging situations. Historically, the brain seeks the path of least resistance. This explains why we tend to avoid challenges and settle into comfort, especially when facing activities that require mental effort. The mind is often a prisoner of this natural tendency to seek quick gratification, like social media or other forms of cheap dopamine. However, to reverse this pattern, it's necessary to train the brain to resist these distractions by using exclusive rewards as incentives. For example, after completing an important reading task, you can reward yourself with something you truly enjoy, like watching a movie or visiting a special place. This strategy of associating challenges with rewards helps the brain start viewing these situations as something positive, turning procrastination into productivity. Instead of delaying what needs to be done, the mind begins to associate effort with the expectation of a reward that's worth it. This shift in perspective is what creates true mental resilience. Over time, instead of fearing challenges, you'll begin to seek them out, knowing that the reward will come, whether it's a sense of accomplishment or a more tangible gratification. This technique transforms effort into something lighter, almost enjoyable, because your brain will start working in pursuit of the reward. This practice is effective because it taps into the brain's dopamine system, turning what was once seen as mental pressure into an opportunity to achieve a small victory. Small rewards are great allies when it comes to productivity and habit development. And of course, the more exclusive the rewards, the greater the desire to fight procrastination. The key lies in creating a virtuous cycle where each challenge overcome brings a sense of accomplishment that fuels the desire to keep growing. The formation of lasting habits is directly linked to repetition. After all, the brain is shaped by consistency. To create truly solid habits, you need to be patient and practice for periods that can vary from 7, 21, 40, or even 66 days, depending on the complexity of the habit. The key here is to start small and gradually increase intensity. For example, if the goal is to read more, start by dedicating 10 minutes a day, and as the habit strengthens, increase to 30 minutes or more. Continuous repetition creates a stronger neural pathway, making the habit more automatic over time. Without repetition, the habit dies. It's easy to give up when mental pressure knocks at the door, but it's precisely in those moments that resilience must speak louder. By practicing consistently, your brain starts to understand that it's no longer a challenge but rather part of the routine. Want to improve your productivity? Focus on small daily victories, like completing an important task first thing in the morning, and repeat it every day. Over time, it will no longer be an effort but a pattern that shapes your mind and actions. Now that you know how to train your brain, I ask, what's stopping you from starting today? If you've ever felt the weight of procrastination, you know that it drains not only your time but also your energy and motivation. Think of challenges as opportunities for growth rather than burdens. The change starts now. Start small, but start. Create a new habit, resist distractions, and reward yourself to transform your mind and achieve your goals once and for all. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning more about how to train your mind and master the art of productivity. Don't let your brain control you. It's time to take control of your life.